At the start, we didn't know these killings were joined. They were far enough apart in various counties of the state of Florida, central Florida largely, that we're not putting the killings together. I don't think there's anything early on that caused law enforcement to believe it was a woman that was doing the killing.
I don't know why it's so hard to understand that women can also be truly monsters. Her story is so tangled with lies, contradictions.
A life that was so twisted and tortured from day one.
It's very difficult to know why she was actually killing. Perhaps she found it thrilling.
Once they find out Eileen's in their yard, the famous serial killer, they might want to get out of here real quick.
She's taken on this kind of folk hero type of persona. There's just a fascination with her character.
One glance into the childhood of Eileen Wuornos, and you immediately see a person whose choices in life were severely limited. She became pregnant at the age of 14, likely the result of a rape.
This was an older man they called Chief at the time. He was like 60-some years old. He did have kids all over, teenagers, to party at his house because it made him feel important. Well, she must have got drunk one night. She probably passed out or something. He thought, I got something for me to fool around with tonight, and raped her.
She is sent to a facility for unwed mothers, where she gives the baby up for adoption.
My name is Dawn Botkins. It's Dawnbotkins. I think we were 14, maybe 15. And she already had her child and all that, and I heard all the kids making fun about her and stuff like that. She was a prostitute. And she come over looking for her sister one day, and I said, "Oh, you Eileen, her sister, come on in." She come over like the following week, and she said, "Well, do you want to skip school with me and do something?" Well, I already had quit. I just didn't tell my family or anything. I pretended like I was going to school every day. So she already had quit because she had the baby and all that, and her mom had died. And that's when everything went to nuts. And when I mean mom, I mean her grandma, the one that raised her. That I call her mom, the one that gave birth to her. She was never a mom.
Eileen's birth mother abandoned her. Eileen never knew her father. He left home before she was born. He was convicted for assaulting a 7-year-old girl and hanged himself in prison with a bedsheet. Eileen lived with her maternal grandparents, but her grandmother died and her grandfather kicked Eileen out. By age 15, she effectively had no family.
Her mom was her grandma, and her grandfather, actually, after Eileen had been raped, I think the pressure of being in the unwed home and all that was a bit much on her, and she died of cirrhosis of the liver, I guess. And the grandfather blamed Eileen for that, threw her out of the house, wouldn't have nothing to do with her because the grandma died one day, and he blamed Eileen for it. Well, she had nothing to do with that. She really was sleeping in the woods. This is for real, and in cars and people's homes. She didn't have no friends. Nobody would let her in the house to take a shower. She would come over to my mom's. My mom one day said, "That girl, your friend Eileen, come over during the day." She said she asked me if she could use my shower. I said, "What'd you say?" She said, "I told her go ahead, but do it before my husband gets home." My dad would probably had a fit, but she went a little too far when she come out to my mom and said, "Mrs. Neiman, can I borrow your toothbrush?" And she said, "No, you cannot borrow my toothbrush."
Eileen told me that she first got into prostitution when she was around 13, and she would do it for cigarettes or beer. The bottom line there is at that age, because she had already been taken advantage of sexually by a family member, that I guess she had lost her self-respect. That's speculation, but for cigarettes at age 13, she was already prostituting herself.
In 1974, an 18-year-old Eileen Wuornos hitchhikes from Michigan to Colorado. She survives on prostitution. It is not an easy life.
There are so few ways for a person in her situation to make money, and it is the oldest profession for a reason, because when people need money, that's what they do.
That's where the seeds of murder and hate and screw the world, that's when it started. Because you had that sympathy for her, but the reality was she had to toughen up.
2 years later, she hitchhikes to Florida. It is here where Eileen's murders begin. As if in answer to a prayer, she meets a multimillionaire named Louis Fell. Astonishingly, the two marry a short time later, but this will be no Cinderella story. The marriage quickly unravels in spectacular fashion, with Fell securing a restraining order on Eileen.
She could have done okay with him, except she was abusive to him.
Eileen tries to take her own life, several times, in fact. On one occasion, she shoots herself in the stomach. Or does she? Her claims of attempted suicide have never been substantiated.
Empty the register. Now! Have a nice day.
Eileen was in and out of jail for robbery, car theft, forging checks, and other charges. Eileen's life changed dramatically when she met a woman named Tyria Moore at a bar.
Aileen Wuornos' only sense of compassion was with a lesbian. She would give her what she needed sexually, but to pay off for Wuornos was tenderness, comfort, maybe an embrace, the warmth of sleeping with somebody.
I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna make sure you have whatever you need.
Eileen always wanted to provide and take care of Ty and be that mother hovering figure.
A lesbian? No, never, ever. I would have never thought that. So when I heard about it, I was like freaked out. No way.
But Eileen can't provide without money, and Tyria barely scrapes by as a maid. Pressures quickly build in the relationship, pressures that will lead to violence.
I don't know what I would do without you. I'm gonna get the money, I promise.
Whatever.
I'm gonna get the money.
November 1989. Eileen is picked up hitchhiking by 51-year-old businessman Richard Mallory of Clearwater, Florida.
Just like killers who kill prostitutes because they'll get in the car, they're more available. She picked men who would easily go with her.
You gonna help me make some money now, Richard? I need some for rent and stuff.
Take your clothes off.
You gonna take yours off?
I like to do it with my own.
No. Wait, get cool. This is supposed to be fun.
Shut up!
Get off of me!
No!
Eileen would allege that Mallory tied her hands to the steering wheel.
Now you gonna do what I say?
She will also claim that he sodomized her.
You bastard!
Eileen will later admit in court that she made up this entire story.
Contrived a false story about how she had been attacked by him, how he tried to rape her, how he had tied her up.
Richard Mallory did set it off, and that was that. She wasn't going to take it anymore.
Well, she must have felt pretty much fear to get that out of her person. Shoot him, don't you think? Now that you think about it that way, yeah, I'm sure he said something he shouldn't have probably said.
She developed this anger against men, against life, against people.
After that, and she confessed eventually, I killed them to rob them.
I got you something.
Who's Richard?
Just a guy.
Same guy whose car we were just in?
Yeah.
Well, where is he now?
It don't matter, Ty.
Where is he, Eileen?
Killed him.
What?
It was gonna be me or him. It's okay.
What did you do with him?
Left him in the woods.
What if somebody finds out?
Nobody's gonna find out. I'm not gonna let nothing come between us. Okay?
6 months after taking the life of her first victim, Eileen hitches a ride with 43-year-old David Spears.
Well, if you like that, there's a lot more, but money first.
I'll pay you after. Gotta see if you're worth the price.
It's definitely worth the price, Daddy.
Yeah.
You know what? Take me back to the highway.
Oh, wait.
No tip?
Get in the back.
What's this for?
It's just some old junk I gotta take to the yard.
You were gonna try and rape me?
Huh?
You were gonna try and rape me?
No, baby. I already paid for you, so come on, let's go ahead and do what we came out here to do. I can go ahead and get out.
You're all evil! Thinking you can do whatever you want to do with us! But not me! Not anymore! Turn over!
Please don't kill me, please! I'll take my car, take my money, but please don't!
She claimed each and every one was self-defense. Then she retracted those statements. She changed her story so much it's hard to tell what's real and what isn't.
Eileen kept bringing home property that wasn't hers, and the property of men, obviously, and automobiles that were not hers.
Look, baby.
Where'd you get this, Lee?
Work.
And the car?
I did him like the other bastard.
This is bad.
I'm sure she said to, Tyra Moore, God, I killed another man today. There's no doubt in my mind. She boasted over it. Saying, man, I do all this for you. I kill these men for you.
It's so odd. It's so rare. It's totally rare. I mean, most serial killers are men killing prostitutes, and here we have the opposite.
Eileen's next victim is 41-year-old Charles Carskadden.
Hey, what are you doing?
The people that Eileen found were all driving their vehicles. She was hitchhiking in every instance.
In the summer of 1990, a Christian missionary named Peter Seams is presumed to be Wuornos' fourth victim. Merely offering a ride to Eileen is his fatal mistake.
Just give me the money.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. Stop!
She would tell me they were all in self-defense, except for that one, the guy with the Bible. That one's really bothers me a lot.
His body, strangely, has never been found.
When she killed the first person and stole things from him, she very quickly realized she could get stuff, like steal their cars, steal items, pawn them, get money. She became what we call a greed killer.
Eileen and Tyria steal Seams's car and wreck it. In a panic, they abandon the vehicle, leaving prints behind connecting them to the missing man. They are also seen by two witnesses, a man and wife.
Eileen was leaving the scene without doing much to avoid detection. She was not sophisticated at hiding her tracks, so to speak. Their descriptions were given to the police, and Eileen's description fit with other evidence that they had put together, and they thought that she might be the person that they'd been looking for.
Just weeks after sketches are made public, police discover remains of a fifth Wuornos victim, 50-year-old Eugene Burris, a salesman from Ocala, Florida. What surely compounded the misery of the victims' families at this time is the fact that their loved ones were likely killed by a prostitute. But what they didn't know was that, according to what Eileen herself would later say, she told the men that her car had broken down. So they were in all likelihood simply helping a woman in need. In September 1990, 56-year-old state employee Charles Humphreys of Crystal River, Florida, becomes Eileen's sixth murder victim. His body is found fully clothed and his trouser pockets turned inside out. He's been shot multiple times.
All of the victims were killed with a .22 caliber firearm.
Depending on where they penetrate, .22 caliber bullets are often not instantly fatal, which may explain Eileen firing numerous times.
When she shot somebody, she didn't just shoot him in the head, she shot him 4 or 5, 6 times. That was anger. That's overkill.
She actually had a territory. Wuornos was literally crisscrossing I-75, I-95, Central Florida, the roadways, and her target were truckers.
The seventh victim is named Walter Antonio, a truck driver in his early 60s from Merritt Island, Florida. Tips begin pouring in from terrified Floridians, and one of them connects Eileen Wuornos to a local hotel and pawn shop. This cracks open the case, with fingerprints being the critical evidence. The search for Eileen Wuornos was on. Feeling the heat, Tyria decides to return to Ohio and move in with her parents.
I did it all for you.
Bus now boarding for Ohio.
Bye, Eileen. Come back to me, please. Please come back. I'm sorry.
Her relationship with Eileen Wuornos ended at the bus station.
her girlfriend could not really deal with life herself.
Tips lead police to the bar where Eileen and Tyra often hung out while dating.
Wuornos was homeless for most of her adult life. Her place of residence was a bar called The Last Resort.
After 7 murders, police now have the rarest of criminals in custody, a female serial killer.
Apparently, there'd never been a female serial killer, and somebody called her a female serial killer, America's first one. And so that was it.
Her story is so tangled with self-serving statements, lies, contradictions. It's very difficult to know why she was actually killing. Perhaps she found it thrilling.
I would die for you. Would you? You evidently don't love me no more. You're going to get me in trouble for something that I didn't do.
I'm not gonna let you get in trouble.
I don't know whether I should keep living or if I should...
I'm not gonna let you go to jail. If I have to confess, I will.
Why in the hell did you do this?
I was so worried about us losing our apartment and stuff. I was scared we were gonna lose our place. Believing that we weren't gonna be together. I love you right next to God.
I know that.
Police have caught up to Tyra Moore, and she's fully cooperating.
Ironically, it was Tyria Moore who betrayed Aileen Wuornos.
They got a hold of Ty, scared the hell out of her. And so when Eileen called Ty from the jail, it was a tape-recorded phone call.
This is an actual recording of Eileen talking to Tyra.
If I have to confess everything just to keep you from getting in trouble, I will. Just don't worry, okay? Okay. I love you. No. Don't do it now. Get it over with.
They set Eileen up. They set her up on the telephone so she would give a full confession by using Ty.
I probably won't live long. But when I die, my spirit's gonna follow you and keep you out of trouble. Well, I gotta go.
Bye, Lee.
See you on the other side.
On the 16th of January, 1991, Eileen Wuornos arrives at a police conference room with something to tell officers.
The reason I'm confessing is there's not enough there is room.
Eileen, of course, exonerated her, and is one of the reasons Eileen, I think, talked.
Eileen tells police that all of her victims had gotten violent with her, and she had to kill them to protect herself.
The common narrative for Eileen Wuornos is that because she has abuse and disadvantage, that inevitably she grew up to be a violent person. That's simply not true, because lots of people have terrible abuse and deprivation and neglect. Psychopaths do not care about anyone but themselves and don't necessarily need a reason for why they're killing, and they don't care that they have killed or hurt anybody. They have no remorse. One diagnosis was borderline personality disorder, another antisocial personality disorder. There was some hint that perhaps she had a delusional or even a schizotypal type of disorder.
Lifelong friend Dawn Botkins reads to us a letter Eileen wrote to her from prison. If it seems bizarrely incoherent, it's because it mostly is. Even Dawn has trouble deciphering its strange references.
Dear Dawn, hey, buddy, nice. Got a letter from you about friendship. A.W., that cracks me up. She signs her, actually hippie. She loves being called the old hippie. I love you too. Think about you always. But it was 5A, whatever that means. I really don't know. So to first kite, I need to see, probably Monday I'll get. I'll see if I can talk about me. Ha 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 da ha 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 ha.
She was diagnosed as a psychopath with a distinct score on the psychopathy checklist. The psychopathy checklist is a diagnostic instrument, the highest score being 40. If you fall within 30 to 40, you're diagnosed as a psychopath. She had a score of 32. That's fairly high for a female. It puts her right in the range of psychopathy.
A year after her arrest, Eileen Wuornos stands trial for the murder of Richard Mallory, her first victim. She maintains she killed Mallory and most of the others in self-defense.
I thought to myself, I gotta fight, I'm gonna die. This guy is gonna play with me, and then he's gonna kill me.
Testifying for herself, Eileen is the only defense witness. As was the case for much of her life, she goes it alone. Even Tyria testifies for the prosecution.
And she just come out and said, I have something to tell you. And I asked her what, and she said that she had shot and killed a man that day.
The family of the victims in the courts did not want to hear the stories, of course. They didn't want to hear how their men would solicit anybody. And so the families and the victims' families were all up in the news, crying for her blood because the way they put their family members, in the light they put their family members.
On January 27, 1992, a jury convicts Wuornos of capital murder. She is not happy.
Scumbags of America.
In pronouncing sentence, the judge showed his disdain for her.
Until by warrant of the governor of the state of Florida, you, Eileen Carol Wuornos, be electrocuted until you are dead.
After she's sentenced to death, she said, how many more times can they kill me? What's for me to believe? Doesn't matter what I believe. My job was to protect her. I can't tell you what she told me, it's still confidential. But I presented her case the way she wanted me to do it, and that could very well have been because she knew what she did. Okay, I can't tell you what she did, but I think she's kind of telling us what she did, especially in the end where she does admit finally that she did it because she was tired of men and she did it to rob them. Look, the pants pockets were found inside out. One time she took the gun and reloaded. I mean, there was a lot of hate there. There was a lot of hate, especially when she reloaded that gun. I think it was Dixie County case. You know, that tells a lot. You know.
I said, she's safe and finally off the streets and don't have to sell herself just to find some food for the day or a place to sleep. I'm happy about that. She's got 3 squares going to be handed to her every day and a bed that she knows she's got, and I don't have to worry about her.
She said to me, I don't want to languish on death row for 20, 25, 30 years. I want to go home to God. Eileen found Jesus and said to herself, it's time to come clean.
There's no sense in keeping me alive because I just would absolutely kill again. I've got too much anger, too much hatred in me.
When she came clean on that day, you know, I think she was finally free. She was finally free.
Florida changed its primary method of execution to lethal injection in 2000, sparing Eileen from the electric chair. Lifelong friend Dawn Botkins visited Eileen on the eve of her execution.
We really had a good visit. We had a laughing visit. She was fed very well. She was stuffed. I knew at the end of the night, because she used to go to bed early, that she had to stay a 4 hours sitting in a chair. She was exhausted. I know I stuffed her face, so she wasn't hungry at all. I knew when that visit was over with, she was going to go back to her cell and go straight to sleep. And actually, she did exactly that. They had to wake her up for her own execution. Figure that. Who would have thought? Most people are awake all night long, petrified of it. Not Eileen. They had to wake her up.
I was there when Eileen was executed. I felt it was something I should do, as having personally handled the case in the courtroom. She appeared perfectly calm and at peace. I played a role in putting her where she was, and I was relieved that she was relieved.
At 9:47 a.m. on October 9th, 2002, Eileen Wuornos was executed. Her last words were, "I would just like to say I'm sailing with the rock, and I'll be back, like Independence Day, with Jesus. June 6th, like the movie. Big mother ship and all, I'll be back, I'll be back." It wouldn't be long before popular culture sought out a way to explain the horrifying acts of Eileen Wuornos.
One of the issues we have with female serial killers is we seem to have trouble with the idea that they could just be psychopaths with no particular reason why they want to kill, they just like it. And so we gave Eileen Wuornos reasons why that would be understandable to the TV audience, and we made it seem like she was trying to take care of her girlfriend who was, could not really deal with life herself, but her girlfriend was as big as her and had a job. So where did that come from?
The 2003 film Monster, based on this story, was praised by critics and won star Charlize Theron an Oscar for Best Actress. The problem is, the film is not accurate. For example, it portrays the murder of Wuornos' first victim as self-defense, even after Wuornos herself said it wasn't.
I killed those men. I robbed them and I killed them as cold as ice. And I'd do it again too, and I know I'd kill another person because I've hated humans for a long time.
In fact, Wuornos eventually proclaimed every one of her victims was innocent.
I want to come clean. There's no self-defense. and so I need to come clean. I need to tell the world that there is no self-defense in my case.
In accepting her Academy Award, Charlize Theron thanked a lot of people, but never once mentioned the families of the victims.
That's why I didn't like Monster, because I thought, why are we trying to soften her? We wouldn't be doing that with Ted Bundy, What is with this? Why do we always have to let women be? They still have their sweet side. I don't know why it's so hard to understand that women can also be truly monsters. Why call that movie that if you're not going to show it?
I felt that the movie overly portrayed this sympathetic aspect of Eileen. I don't believe that she was nearly as sympathetic a person as the movie wanted to portray her as, and did. I think she knew what she was doing. She could have stopped at any time, and she decided that she was going to kill people and take their belongings, and had found a way to do it. And she may have been abused as a child, I have no idea, but it did not justify what she did to these men.
We needed this notion that there was still something redeemable about Eileen Wuornos, and that movie did that, and I think it's a misrepresentation of who she was.
Whatever Eileen Wuornos is, or whatever she did, is still with us today somehow.
This is Eileen's tree. She wanted me to spread her ashes right when I got home because she didn't want me to dwell on it. So I had to wait for them to come in the mail, though I did hold them for 2 days because I just didn't get the time to come down here. But I do love the tree. I'm proud of the tree, and I'll always be. I don't know who's going to be in this house after Dave and I are gone, but I don't know. Once they find out Eileen's in their yard, the famous serial killer, they might want to get out of here real quick. But all this stuff, most of it was sent to me, that and that and that, from people around the country. And I do put it all here. I just haven't kept up with it, but it still looks okay. And her tree, look at it. It's shining up big, isn't it?
There's people who had it just as bad as Eileen, who did not kill anyone. So you got to ask the question, what as a youth turned? What kicked off in her head that turned her into a potential murderess? And the answer is, I'll never know. And I've studied the case, I've read everything, and I still don't know why somebody snaps.
I got a storm in my chest.